Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again for another quick little lesson. This one is kind of country, it's kind of jazz, it's kind of blues. You can certainly use it in rock. It's about double stops and dealing with finding more double stop vocabulary around the chords that you know. So I did a little improv thing in the start there, and that's me just thinking of an A chord. So we are just going to deal with an A chord, though of course at the end of the lesson it would be great if you start transposing these ideas into other keys, and that's easy to do when you have these chords that overlap. So yeah, I guess we're just dealing with three chord positions this lesson. We've got that open A position. We've got an E shape up at the 5th fret. Nice quality telly intonation there. And we've got our C shape up at the 12th fret. Put the note on the high string if you like. So just dealing in those positions. We can find a lot of musical vocabulary around those. And when you're comfortable transposing those to different keys, here they would be in the key of E, for example. A C shape, A shape, and then E shape. I could do it in the key of C. So on and so forth. So yeah, the first thing that you want to learn to deal with when you're playing around these double stops or playing with these double stops is the idea of thirds. So we're just going to deal with that E shape position first, and we'll start exclusively on the G and B strings. Now right there in that chord, between the notes C sharp and E, that would be a third. And I like starting there because not only is that a third, but both of these notes are in the chord. And that's really the concept that you want to take away from playing these double stop ideas, is that everything you play is tension and resolution, and you should always be resolving, you should always be coming home. So there will be times where I don't actually play a third, I play maybe a fourth, and I'll do that because those two notes are in the chord, and that's always better. But you'll see what I mean. So if we play those two notes, 6th fret on the G and 5th fret on the B, we could learn to play these diatonic thirds moving up and down those strings around that A chord. So I'm thinking A7, which would be what, key of D? So C sharp and E. I can then move up and we'd have the 7th fret on G and B. And then I could move up again and we'd have the 9th and 8th frets. That'd be D and F sharp. And then E and G. Now just that alone is already a lot that you can use when you're playing on a blues. If I'm playing you can find some music in that, and that's really the key, you know, experimentation and finding musical ideas. I like that. Now, once you've got that basic position down, what I like to introduce is chromatic approach tones, or chromatic approach chords, if you like. So I'll always approach these two notes that are in the chord from a semitone below, two notes that aren't in the chord. And that's about as far away from A as you can get. I always describe it with my Skype students as not A. This is A, this is not A. And it has that feeling of pulling you back to A. So might want to end with the A root note on the 7th fret of the D string. Maybe you end with the top two notes, the 5th fret on the B and high E strings. Now again, those are just in the chord. We're not playing a third would be this. We want these two notes because they're in the chord. So So that's a nice little piece of vocabulary that fits around that E shape, right? But we could also deal with the same basic idea around that A, the open A shape. Again, if you look at the two notes that you have on the G and B strings, A and C sharp, they're a third. That's a third away from each other. Now I could continue that pattern. If I take the A and the C sharp and move it up to a B and a D, that would be diatonic thirds. Oh, cool. I could then just move that up, and now I've transitioned position. Now I'm in this E shape. And if we add that chromatic passing tone, you have I absolutely love musical ideas like that because, again, if I'm playing a blues, you can play some nice musical ideas with it. And that's what everything's about, right? Playing nice musical ideas. So that's dealing with our thirds on the G and B strings. Now you could continue up if you wanted to. That'd be diatonic thirds on the G and B strings. I can just about get up there. So nice musical ideas. What you find is when you get up to that C area, the double stop that you'd have playing thirds would actually be nasty notes in relation to the A. You're playing the sixth of A and the root. So what I tend to do when I get to this area is I don't play F sharp and A. I tend to play E and A. So that would be a fourth. But again, I'm playing those two notes because those are the notes that are in the chord. So you find a lot more music in that. Now, once you've got that basic idea of thirds down, you can expand upon that, and anywhere we can find thirds in a chord, ideally in a chord, of course you can do it on anything, but you can then expand that and move it up and down the neck. So again, if we're back in our E shape, I'm a big fan of this chord form because we have that third there, right? But we also have a third here. And we can learn the same pattern of thirds taking that E shape, we'd have 7 and 6, descend down to 5 and 4, then 4 and 2, and then I'll play 2 and 2 because that's the notes that are in my chord. And from there, what I like to do is I tend to keep the second fret on the G string, and then I move down on the D string. So that little pattern of thirds sounds great, but again, we can add the chromatic passing tone. I could then move up from there, so from 7 and 6, we'd have 9 and 7, and then again 11 and 9. Well, now I'm playing these two notes, they're in my chord, they're in my C shape. So again, I feel like I've come home. Anything that sounds like the chord is good news, right? So yeah, there's a couple of musical ideas on the D and G strings, and then on the G and B strings. But what I would really want to do is teach you a cool little lick, because licks, 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 right? Pentatonic licks, clap, clap. Pentatonic licks, clap, clap. Only I'm not Paul Gilbert, and this isn't going to be a pentatonic lick, but you get the idea. So here's a great little lick. This is a Brent Mason lick that I play around that C shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to do Brent Mason's classic triplet pattern. I'm slide from 10 into 11 on the D string, play 9 and 11 on the G, and that's middle finger then pick, and then I double stop on 10 and 9 on the top two strings. You're going to want to take your time on that and build up speed slowly. So it's a triplet feel. It's da 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 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2. Gradually building up speed. I use that all the time. Great little kind of accelerating idea. I like that. So this is the start of the lick. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that double stop on the top two strings, which again is a third, and I'm going to move it down. I tend to kind of pluck the open G string there, but with a heavy mute. Great little lick that. Now I want to resolve back to my home sound, to my A. This is not A, so we want A again. Double stop on the 5th fret, right? Because again, those two notes are in the chord. And then once I'm there, I can play a double stop on the top two strings, 7th fret D, double stop on the 7th fret of the G and B, hit my root note again, and then 5 and 4 moving up to 6 and 5. Who likes talking in tab? Not me. So you got this full lick. If I play it nice and slowly, it will sound like this. Chromatic. Now that's a great musical idea, and essentially anywhere we can see that C shape, if I was thinking in the key of E, I can play that same lick. So if we're playing an E, musical when it works. So there we have it, some musical ideas using triplets, not using triplets, using double stops. The triplet was the thing that kind of made things really fun, but yeah, double stops, using double stops, practicing thirds. So get to grips with those on all of your string sets. Just experiment with your chords for your home positions, and then double stops, thirds moving up and down the neck. Get familiar with it, but the most important thing is doing what I did there, where I played something slightly musical, like a blues. Volume helps. Use it in a musical context. Experiment with the rhythms. Try and play the melodic fill, and then end up back home, end up back on the chord fill, end up back on the rhythm, or whatever it happens to be. You need to learn to integrate this stuff into your playing. That's super, super important. So if you did enjoy that, I'll click that. Check out some of my books on Amazon. There are quite a few of them. I deal with this double stop idea quite a lot in like country guitar soloing techniques and also country guitar for beginners because double stops are useful. Probably less of it in Delta Blues slide guitar, but yeah, you know, if you enjoyed the video and you have some of my books, why not pick up some more? And I also want to say a huge thank you to these guys over here. I'm looking over there. They're not actually there. They're there for you, but that's actually just my door. These are some of my supporters over on Patreon. These guys are great people. They help to keep bringing these videos to you. So thank you very much, guys, for your support. It really does mean a lot. And if you would like to be like those guys, you can check me out on Patreon by clicking this button up here. Join us for as little as $1. $1. Great value. You get access to lots of cool stuff. My YouTube subscription button and 2 more of my videos, one here and one here. Do check them out. Leave a comment below, hit that sub button, hit the bell notification, all of that good stuff. It all helps the channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos, guys, and I will see you for another video again soon. Laters.